Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, then my name is Hunter and it is so nice to meet you. In today's video, we're going to be talking about my recurring nightmares. Yes, you heard that right, my recurring nightmares. I have 3 recurring nightmares that I wanted to share with you guys today, and they're the only 3 that I have, so don't worry, I'm not crazy. But I think it's interesting that I have recurring dreams and nightmares, whatever you want to call them, and I don't know, I just wanted to share them with you guys, and maybe someone can tell me in the comments down below what they mean. I don't know. But before we get started, I just wanted to remind you guys that if you have not already, then to be sure to subscribe to my channel down below. And also, I wanted to let you know that I'm uploading 3 days a week, so I would, like I said, love it if you'd subscribe so you guys can check those out. And let's go ahead and get started. So the first recurring nightmare that I remember ever having, actually let me back up. So I have heard, I don't know how scientific this is, but I have heard that if you take antidepressants or like an SSRI, which is a serotonin reuptake inhibitor, I don't know what it stands for, but if you take an antidepressant that's an SSRI, then you're more likely to have vivid dreams. And so I take one of those. So I just wanted a backstory on that one. I tend to have really vivid dreams and I tend to remember them really well, but also I know that what you remember sometimes can be different from what actually happened because our brains are weird. First one that I ever remember having is basically my mom drives a SUV and I have never been able to drive it well. I can drive it if I have to. I'm almost 23. Well, I have been driving since I was 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So I've been driving for like 8 years now, 8 or 9 years, no, 7 or 8 years, depending on when I got my license and all that. But I have been driving for a little bit now, and so the fact that I have terrible dreams about driving my mom's car is kind of weird. So basically I live, or my parents live on this street, and so you go out onto this street and you end up at a light, and basically at that light, that's how you get to basically anywhere else in the town that they live in. And so in this recurring dream, it's always at the same light. You can only turn left or right, and so you can't go straight. So in this recurring dream, I'm like driving her giant SUV and I'm alone, and her brakes are a lot, like my brakes are a lot more sensitive than hers are. Like in my car they are. I drive like a Honda Accord, so it's really small, and her SUV, like I said, is massive. At least it feels like a tank to me. I don't know how she drives it. I don't know how anybody drives one, but here we are. Basically in the stream, I'm driving her car and I'm like pumping the brakes, and I am just continuously pumping the brakes, and the car is not slowing down, and it's going like full speed right to this stoplight, and there's no one in front of me or anything, but I just cannot get the car to stop. And then suddenly, like right before I get to the light, the car just stops. And it like actually, like the brakes actually work, but it's like I am pumping the brakes the whole time trying to stop, and it's just not working. And then I wake up. Like that's all I ever remember from that dream, and I don't know why that's what happens, but it's always on the same street, and I'm always driving my mom's car, and I can never get the car to stop, and it always just stops in one spot. And that's probably the most like consistent recurring nightmare that I have, but I do have 2 others that I'd like to share. So one of them, it's like I'm running, and when I was in high school I used to be pretty good at running, and you'd never guess that now based on how out of shape I am and how out of breath I am after even talking at the end of a video most of the time. But I used to be a really good runner, and so I could speed up if I needed to, and so like I was pretty good at like keeping the pace or whatever, but like if I needed to like sprint towards the end, and I could do that. And I'm not like super great at it, but like I was better than my whole cheerleading squad, so that's pretty much my only claim to fame here. But I was, you know, decent at it, so I would, in my dream I'm running, and it's like I know, like in my brain consciously I know that I can run faster, but it's like my legs will not let me. So it's like I'm going at a pace like this when I really want to go at a pace like this. And so in my dream, it's just like my legs are so heavy and they won't run any faster. So I'm just going like this, and it's like, why can't you run faster? And this whole time I don't know why I'm running. I don't know if anything's chasing me. I don't know if I'm running a race. Literally no idea why I'm running. I feel like it's different every single time, but I can't ever remember that part. But it's always just that I cannot run faster, and I want to, and it's like I know I can and I need to, and it just won't, and I can't stand it. I have not had those two, the car one and the running one, in quite a while, but this next one is one that I find very funny, and it's probably the reason why I wanted to share this video with you guys. That's what, and also I'm not sure if it's a recurring nightmare or a recurring dream. But a backstory to what I'm going to tell you about my dreams. I love shark movies. Like, I literally love shark movies, and they have never kept me from going in the ocean before. Like, I live in South Carolina. It's a 4-hour drive to the closest beach. Like, literally, it has never stopped me from going in the ocean. Not one time ever. I love shark movies so much. For the night before my wedding, my maid of honor asked me, Hunter, what do you want to do the night before your wedding? We're all hanging out, all your bridesmaids, sitting around. What do you want to do? I said, I want to watch The Meg. And most shark movies are terribly inaccurate. They're also pretty cheesy, and people are really stupid in them, and just everything about shark movies is trash, which probably makes them so great to me. And so I just feel like I needed to let you guys know that I love a shark movie before we dive into get it? Wow, didn't even do that on purpose. I'm so lame, ignore that. The dream that I have that is recurring, I don't know if you call it a nightmare or a dream or whatever it is, but in the dream there was a massive shark. And if you've ever seen the Meg stands for megalodon, which is, I think, the biggest shark species that's ever existed, and it's like this ancient shark, I don't know. And in the movie The Meg, there's one that lives in the Mariana Trench, and it comes up and it's literally just ginormous. It's so big, and it's way bigger than anything they ever could have imagined. And so in this movie, it's basically like it's a smaller shark, and then as it gets closer, obviously whenever something gets closer to you, it's gonna get bigger, but it's like it's actually a smaller shark, and it like actually, as it gets closer, it literally just becomes this giant shark. And guys, I don't even know what this means, and I don't know why I'm telling you guys this, because you probably think I'm crazy, but every scenario has been different. So like one time it was like on a lake beachfront, one time I was like at a family campground and I was staying in a house and I was like pretty far off the beach, and then one time I was at a hotel that was like really tall, and it's like as it gets closer it just like is eating like huge gulps of people, and it never eats me, and I'm like always able to like get away from it. But one time I was staying in like this house, and it's like the water kept getting like, oh, and every time it's not just this massive shark. One time it was a giant rhinoceros, but it's only been, oh, and one time it was a giant alligator, but it's mostly sharks. Again, no idea what this means. Honestly, it's crazy. But basically, as the thing gets closer, the water also rises significantly, and it's like, I'm good, I'm on the beach, and then suddenly the beach is just like flooded, and then as it gets closer and as I get further away from it, the water, I just can't like get away from it, so the shark is obviously getting closer no matter how far away I run. And I don't know, it's just happened so many times. And one time I was trying to convince my parents like we needed to leave this family campground and we needed to go as far away from the ocean as we could, but they just weren't listening to me. And yeah, can someone tell me what that means? I feel like, you know, the not being able to run faster, not being able to stop brakes, like that's a pretty normal recurring nightmare, you know. It's like you fear, I don't know, it's like some sort of fears that you have or something like that, or some sort of anxieties that are going on in your life, and I haven't had those in a while. But the shark ones, I don't know what they mean, and I feel like they don't really have a meaning other than the fact that I like to watch shark movies, but I haven't watched a shark movie in a while, so I'm not entirely sure what's going on with that or why. So if anyone has any insight as to why I have dreams about sharks, giant ones, or giant alligators, or giant rhinoceroses, I don't know if that's the plural, but I said it. So basically I just want to know what's going on with my brain, or if it's just the meds are making me crazy. I'm not sure, but I thought you guys would find this interesting, because I would find it interesting to listen to someone talk about their giant shark dream. Anyway, that is all I have for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, or you thought my dreams are funny, then please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe down below. I was so excited to film this video for you guys, so please, please, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!